that down, let's move on to this, shall we? A movie that we all know at some point is going to get made, but they've had some kind of trouble getting traction and getting it going, is a fourth Tom Holland Spider-Man film. But we know it's been coming. The producers said, we're working on it. Tom Holland, when asked, says, we're working on it. It's just not there yet. We're working on it, all that kind of stuff. Well, now we have finally got our first piece of what I would call definitive confirmation that the movie is now a go. Because the star of the movie has just said, everything is good to go. The headline in Variety, Tom Holland says Spider-Man 4 starts shooting next summer. And everything's good to go. I can't wait. This is what it actually says in Variety. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on Tuesday night, Holland confirmed that his fourth Spider-Man movie is happening and even has a production start date. Next summer, he said, we start shooting. Everything's good to go. We're nearly there. Holland said, super exciting. I can't wait. All right. This is by far the most definitive thing that says, we've cracked it. We've cracked it. So, because everything up until now has been, well, first of all, Tom Holland played coy. Remember this about a year ago? Well, maybe my time as Spider-Man is done, and maybe it's time for somebody else to come and play him. And like all of us were saying, we were all saying, Chris, we were all like, nice kid, but we know you're not. You're lying, and we know you're going to be back. So all that kind of stuff. And then stories about how they had a couple of scripts. They weren't quite what they were looking for or wanted, and they'd been working on it. It's like, when is this going to happen? And can we get one before the Avengers films? Or are we talking about things that happen after Avengers? All this kind of stuff. This is the first time that we have definitively got from an authoritative person, the star of the film, saying, we got it. We're good to go. And that we've now gotten to the point that we now have set a beginning of production. Now, the one thing I'm a little unclear of, Chris, is the semantics of this. When he says next summer we start shooting, that can mean one of two things. Because we are now in October. Summer is coming. When he says next summer, does he mean, because like tomorrow is, what day is it today? Today's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so tomorrow's Thursday and the day after that's Friday, right? So if I said to you, hey, let's have lunch next Friday.
I would be like, well, not this one.
Right, right? So when he says next summer, does he mean summer? Because we are in the year 2024.
I think he means 25.
See, that's my first thought too. My first thought is the summer of 2025.
Yeah.
But that is that's this coming summer.
If he said this in January, then I'd be like 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though
situation.
the immediate summer in front of us is summer 2025.
Yeah.
You guys interpret him the same way I am. That when he says next summer, he's talking this upcoming summer, the summer 2025.
Yeah. I'm holding him to it. So.
Okay. So like that's how I'm interpreting it as well. I'm just bringing up that there is the possibility he may be referring to the summer of 2026 because that would be the next summer. Anyway,
I think that's release of
maybe. Either way,
Spider-Man
he's
4.
lapping Blade.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Completely, multiple times.
On your left.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Miracle Made. Guys, it's hot outside and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. So if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. There are just so many things that make these sheets so fantastic. We already mentioned the self-cooling properties for better quality sleep, but they're also self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. So go to trymiracle.com/Campea. That's TRYMIRACLE.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Laughing, but you know, it's funny too, because a friend of mine texted me last night, and with the, you know, so he said, well, he's shooting this movie with Christopher Nolan that's coming out in 2026. When is he supposed to shoot Spider-Man? Again, I think what we as movie fans have to keep in mind is that actors do not work on a movie for a year. There are hundreds of other people that work on a movie for 2 years and then get it all the way up to a point where then the actors come in. And what would you say is I mean, obviously some are longer, some are shorter. Would it be fair for me to say, Chris, that probably on average, a top 5 of the line actor will probably spend 2 to 3 months on a movie?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, probably 2 to 3 months, which means Tom Holland could literally shoot 4 full-length feature, top-of-the-line films next year. I mean, there's plenty of time.
Sure.
As long as they arrange it right, there's plenty of time for him to shoot multiple movies.
Yeah, by the time you take in the fact that he's not the only character in the film, he's not in every scene, and then most of the scenes are going to be CGI with him flying through the sky, you know, the cityscape.
Yeah.
Sure, that's probably him like in the suit if he's grounded.
Yeah.
But
a lot of it's going to be computers. People also forget a lot of times too, a lot of times scheduling conflicts are what you make of them. Laura Linney did Mystic River and Love Actually at the same time, flying back and forth between the UK and the US. If you want to make something work, typically there are ways to do it. Of course, there are certain situations where you do have a very rigorous schedule or you're number 1 on the call sheet and you wouldn't be able to do both things at the same time. But if he wanted to do all of this, he absolutely could. Wouldn't be a big deal.
Serious tone shifts.
See,
500 days in that.
Right?
I'm not going to say who, but I have a filmmaker friend of mine that worked on a movie with let's say a significant star. And it wasn't the biggest movie in the world, so they had a whatever budget, and this particular star said, I can do it, but you've got me for 3 weeks. But they really wanted this person in their movie. So what they simply did is they sat down with, by the way, MVP of any movie shoot is the line producer. So they sat down with the line producer who helps work out like everything they need and all the scheduling and all that kind of stuff. And they just simply made it and worked it so that every single moment that this particular actor was going to be on screen was filmed in 3 weeks, and they put everything else off. Then they shot the entire rest of the movie later. So this actor came in 3 weeks out the door and they shot everything. So there's things you can do. There's ways you can make it work. So now the big thing to me now is this is going to be shooting around the same time that the next Avengers movie is going to be shooting.
Ooh, that's true.
Right? So then I'm wondering, does this movie they're shooting, does this Spider-Man 4 movie they're shooting, does this come out prior to Avengers Doomsday? Is it come out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars? I mean, obviously it's going to come out before Secret Wars for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But does it come out before or after Doomsday?
Man, it would only help it if it came between the two
Yeah.
because you've got that push from Avenger, huge tempo of Spider-Man and then Avengers again.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah. I feel like that's the setup.
I'm gonna throw out a
Little
guess.
sandwich.
I'm gonna throw out a guess that it's gonna come out before Doomsday.
Could
Oh.
only because Robert Downey Jr. is my only hang up.
Well, also it'll be interesting because we don't know where the movie's going to, where Doomsday is going to end, and what state does that leave the world of the MCU in? 'Cause
Right.
remember, at the end of Infinity War, the state of that world was changed. Half the population had disappeared. We're in a completely different kind of world. My guess is, and it's just a guess, that we're going to have something kind of similar. That the events of Doomsday, and again, I'm just speculating here, pure guessing, okay, just throwing it out there. But I'm starting to wonder if at the end of Doomsday, we're going to be in a similar situation where the world has been changed. Not half the population's gone again, but something significant that it's a different world now. And do they
It's
want to
a
make that
different
Spider-Man movie
world.
in that world? Or do they want to have
Pre that event.
Yeah, do they want to have a more normal Spider-Man movie happen that then leads into Doomsday? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going to guess it's going to take place. The movie's going to come out before Doomsday. Again, I don't know that. I'm just guessing. I can change my mind tomorrow. When do you think this movie comes out?
I like the idea of it in between everything, to your point, Jonathan, of kind of having that nice little tent pole in between everything. And I feel like these things can, in the timeline, simultaneously be happening, right? We can have a throw to of like, oh my gosh, and there's Victor Von Doom doing his thing.
Or it
whatever.
could be a Ant-Man and the Wasp situation where it was between, and it was actually a prequel, but the end credit was catching up to the snap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
now
that
I
kind of thing.
thought I heard, what's his name, Desposito, one of the executives over there, Marvel. I believe I remember hearing once saying they're going to try to keep their movies as lined up as possible.
So
now,
linear.
without jumping around at different times to kind of keep it normal. That doesn't mean they're going to stick to it. I mean, they're going to do what they do. But anyway, guys, here we are. This is the first time we've gotten truly solid, concrete that Spider-Man 4 is ready to go. Now, they said they're still going to tinker with it, sure, because they've got like 6 months between now and when they start shooting. But they said essentially they've cracked the code. They've got it. They're good to go. And they're going to start shooting this movie next summer. What do you think about that? Where do you think this movie's going to fit into all this kind of stuff? And where's your anticipation level now? And what kind of Spider-Man 4 do you think we're going to get? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.